Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to do an unboxing type / review of the Samsung ATIV Book 9. Got this on Amazon, it came in yesterday. I did already open it and I'm just going to show you how it comes boxed. Should get it like this in a plastic wrap. Take that off. And all it's in there is these little air pouches. So we'll get everything out of the way. And then there it is. Now this is model NP900 X3E-K01 US. So it's going to come with a 256 gig SSD. Pop that up. And then that's going to come with all the plastic wrap covering the laptop. And there it is. Now, let's set that aside for a second. Now, just in the rest of your box, some styrofoam to protect it, and got your little gigabit dongle adapter, user guide, instructions manual, and your power adapter. Good thing about the power adapter is, if I can grab it, it's very small, so if you are throwing this in a bag, you won't have to worry about carrying it. It's very light. It's not gonna make your very thin ultrabook heavy once you have the charger. Alright, and then here it is. This thing is unbelievable. It's very thin, and honestly, before I bought it, I had never seen it in person. And you might say, wow, you're crazy spending that much money without ever seeing it in person. But I did do a lot of research and looked at reviews, and I finally decided on this one, even though it doesn't have a touchscreen. Why? Because next year, going to college, I will probably need a match screen if I want to use it outside, and I don't know, I just really love the design on this thing. So thing is, with the SSD on this, it is blazing fast right now. It's completely turned off, and I'll show you how fast this thing really boots, and you could time it. I did it before. It booted in about maybe 6 or 7 seconds. It's really fast, so I'm gonna start that right now. Here. And you can see this thing just turns right on. It's already open to use. I'm already using it. This thing's just unbelievably fast. As you can see, go back to like Windows 7 style desktop. That's Pittsburgh right there. And you cannot even tell on this camera, but the display is unbelievable. Matte finish. Very nice. The viewing angles are unreal. I mean, it does not distort at all. You can tell. The backlit keyboard as well, that's another thing to mention. This thing, I'll hit the lights real quick. Hopefully you guys can see this. Hard to tell on this camera, but this backlit keyboard, I have seen a lot of backlit displays where down here, and this thing is so light, by the way. I'm holding this thing with one hand, like, feels like you're carrying like a folder with some papers in it. There is nothing to this thing, but even though it is, it's so sturdy, it's very solid feel. But you can tell it doesn't give off a lot of lights in between the keys, which I love. I have seen a lot of backlit keyboards where there's light everywhere and the light doesn't show through the keys. It kind of just illuminates the whole keyboard. This actually shows the letters very clearly. Very nice to use in a dark room. Some more things to keep in mind. Well, here's a few problems I had when using it. I just got it yesterday. They're not major. I just wasn't so sure on how to do this. So right now I'm on basically the Windows 7 style. Just go to Google. I'm not sure. I believe this is setting with Google. I tried it on Internet Explorer and it also kind of did the same thing. So let's just say we search Yankees. I'm a Yankees fan. When you go to scroll, see how it just pops down the page? I'm not sure if that is a setting on Google Chrome that I need to mess with, or if that is something, because I've used Google Chrome on every device I've ever owned, and I've never seen this where it just pops down. That is, right now I'm hitting just the down key, just scroll up and down, and that's all I'm getting out of it. So I'm not sure what the problem is with that, or if it's a setting. I have gone into the settings in Google Chrome, and I have not seen anything to fix that. But I don't know, maybe I'm just skipping over it. So that's one thing that I'll have to look into. If you guys know, you can comment on that. Another thing, the lighting on this, brightness. Right now I have it turned down. Sorry, this camera's not the best. I apologize. The brightness right now is set pretty low. I'd say 25%. Turn this thing up, it just gets so bright. Almost to the point where if you're looking at a picture, it's lovely, but if you start to go back into the internet, I mean, this thing is just, it's almost like you can't even use this thing at full brightness. I know you can't tell on the camera, but this thing is just glowing right now. It's so bright. And the problem, what I was saying is though, when you get the laptop, auto dimness turns on, and it's not a setting that you can just go back here and go into your settings and change. You can't just come in here and be like, oh, I want to change auto dim. I had to look it up online, and I believe you hold in the Windows X, and you have to go into power options. You have to go, let me get that back up. Power options. You have to go into change plan. You have to go into advanced. Then all the way on this device, it'll say Samsung optimized right here. It's very hard to tell. Try to zoom in for you. And then, whoops. And then display, and then enable adaptive brightness. So that's one way to change it. Actually, that's the only way to change it. So if you do get this laptop and you're wondering, that's how you're gonna do that. So some of the settings, they are really hard to find. I had to look them up on Google. You're not just gonna find them right away, which it's gonna take some getting used to, but overall it's fine. Things I like about this thing, that FN lock right there, it is it's the only time I've ever seen it. So to change your volume and stuff, they are FN keys. So instead of having to hold in FN and keep hitting, say, the brightness or the backlit keyboard, the sound, or like the screen brightness over here, you can just hit FN lock and you can just keep hitting those without having to hold in the FN key. I thought that was a nice idea. Some other things, I don't know, the display on this thing is just unbelievable. It's so nice. And how thin this thing is, this thing is, I mean, it practically feels like you're not even holding anything. Now, we did power up. Now we'll try to open this guy up and see how fast it wakes up. It should wake up right away. Yep, pops right up. And, oh, another problem that I had with it, well, not a problem, but when I booted on the computer, you notice that I didn't have to sign into anything. That is because there is a way to skip by that Windows 8 password. I mean, I'm not sure how new you guys are to Windows 8. This is my second day using it. I've used it here and there before, maybe for like 5 minutes, but I've never owned a Windows 8 device. So this is I'm getting used to it, as you can probably tell, because I'm kind of getting slow. Oh, multi touch on the touchpad is just, it's great. I gotta say, I have heard reviews like, oh, no touchscreen, no touchscreen. I mean, there is no touchscreen on this device, but I don't think it's a problem because multi-touch is great, except there is one thing. When I go in here and say I'm scrolling around, I will accidentally scroll in from the left and keep changing my, like, what I'm doing. Problem is, I have been on, say I have been on Google Chrome, and I have been on like Facebook, and I'm going to scroll up and down a page. I will accidentally slide in from the left and go back to what I was just in, and it's not on purpose. Say I'm just going to move from the left side of the page to the right side of the page to click on something. It will think I'm doing that, and I will accidentally scroll. That's probably my fault because this touchpad is large and I'm not really used to it. So that's going to take some getting used to. It's definitely different than not having one, but you can see the multi-touch is just fine. It does, basically, if you know what you're doing, it does exactly what you want it to do. But sometimes it will accidentally pick up, say, that. It'll accidentally pick in the swipe-ins from the side. That's the only problem I've had with it. But that is me because I am using every inch of this touchpad. I'm not just staying in the center here. Now if I was, I have no problem with it just scrolling around. But that's my fault. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything about this laptop that you might have a concern with or like want to ask me about, you can comment on this video. And if you do decide to get this laptop, I would definitely recommend it so far. So far it's flawless, it's fast, has everything you need. Can't really say enough about it. Alright, so pros for this thing. I'll have to say great display. That's one of the most obvious ones. It's matte. I'm going to take it outside for you in a second so you can see. I have taken it out. I have taken it in the car in the sun. It's definitely better than a glossy display. Great keyboard. It's very easy to type on. My old laptop was a Dell Inspiron, which it's a crazy upgrade, but this thing is so thin, and yet the keys are spaced out, and typing on it is, I think, easier than that laptop, which was huge, bulky. It was bad, but great keyboard, great backlit keyboard. Touchpad is great. Battery life. I've been using this thing, right now it's 1 o'clock. I've been using this thing since 11, and right now it's saying I'm at 3.5 hours left. So decent battery life. Really depends on what you're doing too and how you have the brightness set. Because I have the brightness halfway, and it's still giving me about, I'd say 5.5 hours, almost 6 hours. But before I had it, I was just changing desktop backgrounds, going on Google, looking up images, went to battery, and it said I had about 9 hours left after I was using it for an hour. So definitely depends on what you're doing. I'm not sure if that's, I don't know why that's such a drastic change from 3.5 left, 9 left. So I'm not really sure how accurate that is. Alright, I'm gonna take it outside for you guys now. Alright, so right now we have it outside. It's on my deck. Very lovely, got the trampoline and everything going. But I'm not sure if you can really see that on the camera. It's very hard to tell. But I mean, I can see this thing, the screen, very clearly. I can still use it. I have no problems. Brightness is still at 50%. So that's a huge reminder. You don't even need the brightness all the way up to be able to see this thing. Turn it up, it's fine. Actually, with the brightness all the way down, I could still see the screen, but it's definitely a thing to keep in mind if you think you might be, say, using it at a park bench, maybe using it on a bus or in a car where there might be glare coming in from the windows. That's something to keep in mind. So you're gonna lose the touchscreen, but you're gonna gain the matte screen, which honestly, I'm not huge into touchscreen for laptops. I want my laptop to feel like a laptop. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for our unboxing and review on the Samsung ATIV Book 9. It's model, once again, it's model NP900X3E-KO1 US. Once again, 256 gig solid state drive, which is fast. Great screen, great keyboard, very thin. Having some problems with the touchpad, swiping it from the sides on accident, scrolling on the internet. That's not very minor issues. There are definitely ways to fix those, so I'll definitely look into that. But it's a great laptop. Any questions or comments, just feel free to ask me.